The sleek, minimalist apartment felt strangely cold, even with the Los Angeles sun pouring through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Milo slapped a stack of papers on the marble island. "Sign it, Claire," he said, his voice oozing with a finality he clearly enjoyed. He shot the cuffs of his $1,000 shirt, a perfect picture of smug, self-made arrogance. Clinging to his arm was a younger woman, Stella, looking on with a mix of pity and victory. Milo smirked. "I'm just over you. Honestly, it's depressing coming home to your plain face." He gestured around the apartment. "You live in a place like this because of me. Without me, you're nothing." Claire looked from the divorce papers to the man she'd been married to for 5 years. There were no tears, no begging. Instead, a tiny, almost invisible smile played on her lips. Her silence seemed to bother him more than any argument ever could. She picked up the expensive pen he'd left for her hand perfectly steady, and signed her name with a flourish. The quiet that followed was deafening. It was the sound of a world breaking apart, and only one of them could hear it. 50 grand, Milo scoffed after she signed, pushing a check toward her. "For your time. That's about what all your help has been worth." He glanced at Stella, who let out a little giggle. "Don't get any ideas. I'm only doing this 'cause I feel sorry for you." Claire didn't even look at the check. Her quiet dignity just seemed to make him angrier. "You really don't get it, do you?" Milo's voice started to rise. "My career is about to explode. The gala tonight? It's to celebrate $1 billion investment from Kane Hudson's company, Ecologics. A deal I closed. Stella here was a huge help. She helped me land $1 billion. Can you even imagine that much money?" He was talking to Stella, but every word was a knife aimed at Claire. A knife for every year she'd managed their home, encouraged his dreams, and, most importantly, secretly pulled the strings that made his career possible. He saw a simple housewife, completely blind to the architect of his own success. "You've never sacrificed anything," he spat. "I gave up a comfortable life for you," Claire said. Her voice was just a whisper, but it cut through the air. "I sacrificed everything. And this is how you thank me." Milo just laughed. "Oh, don't be so dramatic. Your empty threats won't make me stay." He grabbed Stella's hand. "We've got to get ready for my big night. Make sure you're gone by the time we get back." As they walked out the door, laughing, Claire finally looked down at the signed papers. One cold thought echoed in her mind. "Milo, I'm taking back every single thing I ever gave you. Which is, well, everything you have." A few hours later, across town, Claire stood in a penthouse office that made their apartment look like a closet. The gold plaque on the door read, "Montgomery Group, Office of the CEO." She was on the phone, and the submissive woman from before was gone. Her voice was now sharp, powerful, and ice-cold. "Kane, it's me," she said, gazing out at the sparkling city skyline. On the other end was Kane Hudson, the legendary founder of Ecologics. "Claire," he replied warmly, "the gala is ready to go. Milo is about to have his moment, thinking he's the king of the world." "Let him," Claire said. "The higher they are, the harder they fall. He just served me divorce papers. He thinks he's trading up now that he's a big shot." She paused. "He also thinks his little assistant, Stella, is the one who secured your $1 billion investment." Kane chuckled. "He really has no clue that Montgomery Group is the silent majority partner in my company, does he? Or that they Miss Montgomery, who instructed me to make the deal in the first place, is the woman he just kicked out?" "Not a clue," Claire confirmed. "He thinks he's a genius who built an empire. Tonight he's going to find out his genius was the woman he was married to. And she just left him." "So, we're doing this?" Kane asked. "Oh yes," Claire said, that chilling smile returning. "Tonight I'm not just going to the gala. I'm crashing it." The gala was dripping with excess. Champagne flowed while the city's business elite schmoozed under giant crystal chandeliers. Milo stood on a brightly lit stage, microphone in hand, beaming. Stella was right beside him, soaking in the spotlight. "Thank you all for coming." Milo's voice boomed across the ballroom. "Tonight is the beginning of a new era for my company, all thanks to a landmark $1 billion investment from the visionary Kane Hudson and Ecologics." The room offered up a polite round of applause. "Of course I couldn't have done this alone," Milo went on, turning to Stella. "I want to thank my partner, my inspiration, Stella." Just as Stella started to blush and wave, the huge ballroom doors swung open. A sudden hush fell over the crowd. It was Claire. But this wasn't the woman Milo left a few hours ago. She was wearing a breathtaking couture gown, her hair and makeup perfect. She walked with an unmistakable aura of power. And right next to her was Kane Hudson. On stage, Milo froze, his smile collapsing. Claire? What are you doing here? And with Mr. Hudson? Claire walked right up to the stage and took the other microphone. She looked at Milo, her eyes like chips of ice. I told you, Milo. I'm taking everything back. She turned to the shocked audience. Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Claire Montgomery. I'm the CEO of the Montgomery Group. Murmurs erupted through the room. The Montgomery Group was a legend in global finance, a true titan. My group is the primary silent partner in Mr. Hudson's company Ecologics, Claire announced, her voice ringing out. And I was the one who instructed Mr. Hudson to offer your company that investment. She held up a copy of the agreement. The fate of this deal rests entirely in Miss Montgomery's hands. And Miss Montgomery? She said, locking eyes with a pale, trembling Milo, is me. Then, in front of everyone, she ripped the billion-dollar contract in half. Milo just stared, his mouth hanging open. You're the CEO? You planned this whole gala for me? Claire just gave him a look of pure pity. Wow. You really don't get it, do you? It was instant chaos. Kane Hudson stepped to the mic. In light of this, Ecologics is officially rescinding its investment offer. He then shot Milo a look of disgust. It seems you've made a grave miscalculation, my friend. Milo's world was imploding in real time. His phone started buzzing like crazy. One by one, his other investors, seeing the most powerful people in the room pull out, followed suit. He was watching his entire life's work vanish in seconds. He stumbled off the stage, pushing past people who were now staring at him with contempt. He tried to call his bank, but his corporate cards were already declined. His personal accounts were frozen. He frantically looked around for Stella, but she was already gone. He spotted her by the exit, already chatting up another rich-looking executive. She glanced back, saw the panic on his face, and coldly turned away. He was utterly alone. He finally understood. It was never his company. It was always Claire's. He hadn't built his own empire. He was just living in one she had built around him as a gift. A gift he'd just spit on and thrown away. A week later, Milo was standing in the pouring rain outside the Montgomery Group's skyscraper. He was a ghost of his former self, a mess, thin and soaked to the bone. He had lost it all. His company was bankrupt, the apartment was gone, and his family had disowned him after the humiliating news broke. He waited for hours until Claire's black car finally pulled up. As her chauffeur held an umbrella and she stepped out, looking as perfect as ever, he ran toward her. Claire, he begged, his voice cracking. She stopped and just looked at him, her face impossible to read. He dropped to his knees right there on the wet pavement. Claire, please. I was a fool. A blind, arrogant fool. I'll do anything. I'll break up with Stella, I swear. It was always you. I still love you. He looked up, his face a pathetic mask of desperation, hoping to see a tiny piece of the woman who used to love him. Claire looked down at the man groveling at her feet. She let the silence stretch out, letting him feel the full weight of his ruin. There was no anger left in her. Just a cold, empty feeling. You still love me? She asked softly. Or do you just love what I can give you? She didn't wait for him to answer. She already knew. You're pathetic, she said, the words hitting him like a final blow. Without a second glance, she turned and walked into the towering glass building that had her family's name on it. She left Milo kneeling in the gutter, a broken man drowning in a sea of his own regret. He watched her go, finally understanding what he had truly lost. It wasn't just the money or the status. He had thrown away the one person who ever truly believed in him, and in the process he had become the one thing he always accused her of being. Nothing. So what do you think? Was this the ultimate karma, or did Claire go too far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you love satisfying revenge stories like this one, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.